Craig, good to see you. And of course, it's the first time we've seen you since before the game on Saturday.
Yeah.
How did you feel after the full-time whistle?
Drained. It was. It's difficult when you see the team you're involved with, and you're not able to give the messages as much as you're prepared for, and you know that's the reality of it. It was. You felt a little bit more like powerless. So yeah, it's not a situation I'd like to be involved in again.
The 3 points was, of course, the priority out against Liechtenstein.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the performance?
There was some, look, I want it to be 5, 6, 7, and more. I really do, because to me then it shows, because I'm always conscious of my experiences as well as playing for, and these were never comfortable games for us. I say the performance-wise where we weren't under any danger, and this is when I was playing, but we never turned these games into 6, 7, 8, and it was, I'd love to be involved in that type of game. But also, even down recent past, it's never been that type of way for us. On a consistent basis, and I'm fully aware of opposition teams drop, they 11 in the box, and it's, but to me it's more decision making, final bits of quality. Now, when you have your opportunities, you have to take them. We had some very good opportunities. When I look at Brody's and Nico's, the VAR situation, it's like, here we go again. And I don't mean that but you think you've scored, brilliant, and then you're having a delay. I think it was a certain amount of time again, and then you have to start again. So these type of moments, I'd like to see us become cleaner with the ball, and make better decisions with the ball, and then really go ahead and take, get your goals against these type of teams. So yeah, it was a similar feeling that I had when I played, which is why I'm in coaching, because I don't want the players to feel like I did when I played. So yeah, room for improvement.
Yeah, you mentioned the 5 or 6 goals, or wanting that, and I think that was the general consensus after the game. What is that next step then to turn these kind of games into the sort of result that you want?
Yeah, do you know what part of me when I come away was like, maybe we need 1 or 2 more of these games then. Maybe we need to be, I'm not saying we learn much from the game, because you're not going to get tested, especially on defensive habits, and but maybe we need more on breaking down teams and really being patient, but making the right decisions on a consistent basis, and those little 1-2s, those little bits of moments, counter movements, how we attack the box, in which areas, is our crossing, is the detail better, or is it good but we're not getting in there? So maybe we need those moments a little bit more. That was my feeling coming away, was like, we need to sort this out. This needs to be better. I'm okay with us against a lot of teams. But actually, part of me sort of went past this one. Because, look, what do we get out of it? We don't get as much. But actually, when I look now, I'm like, no, we need to get, because it was only a year and a bit ago, 0-0 against Gibraltar. And we don't want this to be the case as well. So, and I'm not saying we have a God-given right to be able to do whatever we want to these teams, but I just feel the decision-making, those moments of really being in the final third, are you playing for you, or are you playing for the team? Do you want to go on your own mazes, or do you see the overload and be able to play and connect? I just feel those moments, maybe we need to be more familiar with as well. Not too much, you understand what I mean? And, but I just feel maybe we get too excited. Maybe someone sees it as, I got a chance to score a hat-trick for, you know what I mean? It's like, that I don't know. I'm trying to get my finger on it, as you can see.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely on the list. Definitely on the list of improvements we need to make.
The bigger picture, Craig, of course, one last game to go in terms of the group tomorrow night against North Macedonia. that second place, it's in our hands.
Yeah.
It's very, very much up for grabs.
Yeah.
And you've just spoken really brilliantly in there in terms of, it wasn't that long ago, we'd never be in this position.
Yeah, but I don't want to, like...
Yeah, but it's sort of, do you think it's easy to lose sight of that sometimes in terms of...
No, I don't want us to lose sight of it. I want us to embrace that. Because I want to embrace the previous managers who've been in this role as well. And well done. You know, you've put the expectations on me to be able to follow what you guys were able to do, and that's an honour. But also for the players, it's an honour as well. We don't want to look back, and I don't want to look back into how I play. Sometimes I have to, because I got nowhere else to go with it, apart from your own experiences, whether it's good or bad. But I want that expectations. You know, I want the disappointment if we don't. Have a go at me, because I agree. If we do well, give me all the praise, which you have done. You can't have it both ways, do you understand? And I'm always conscious, I'm never as good as what they say, I'm never as bad as what they say. I'm fine, but I like us feeling that way. Do we have a certain right to be where the other... I think we do. That's the honest truth. So, okay, you know, we weren't good enough before. In my time, we weren't good enough. That's why we didn't qualify. Now, I believe Wales national team over the last 10 or so and a bit more than that years have become good enough to be able to be realistically competing to qualify for major tournaments.
In terms of the game tomorrow night, North Macedonia have had a brilliant campaign. They've only conceded 3 goals.
Yeah.
You know, what do you see as the priority tomorrow night in terms of how you want your players, your team to approach the game?
I always believe our intensity is key. It has to be key. Our habits have to be key. We have to test them on their habits. Do they all come back? Do they all work for the team? No, they're not a team that looks for possession. They're quite happy not to have it. So we're going to have a decent amount of possession tomorrow. But they do have counter-attacking ability. Now, we have to be conscious of that as well. It doesn't mean we can just throw everyone, and there's a certain stage, if it comes to that, then maybe we look at, but we also have to be respectful of that as well. Now, they don't concede on a regular basis due to the numbers they have in defence, and they're happy to defend deep and happy to defend in numbers and rely on 1 or 2 bits of brilliance that they have, then being able to counter-attack. So to us, it's quite straightforward. But at times, if we need to be patient, we'll be patient. It's not going to get won in the first 10 minutes, and you're not going to lose it in the first 10 minutes. If we have to go to the 85th, 90th minute to get this done, then it has to get to... If it has to go to that, we go to that. Yeah, they've had a great campaign, I have to be honest. I look back at a lot of games, I think they've been quite fortunate. I think when I look at Kazakhstan, I thought they were a better team over 2 games against them. Belgium, I don't believe when they went to Belgium, if you can play that game 100 times, they lose 99. But also, what it teaches you is they have a resilient, like they have that with them. And I respect that as well. And also admire. But it's up to us to turn that. And hopefully that's the case.
Just a couple more. Of course, there'll be no Jordan James or Ethan Ampadu tomorrow night because of the yellow cards they received. We understand Harry Wilson will be leading the team out as well. So just how have you approached, obviously needing to adapt once again to the players that you have and won't have available?
Yeah. Do you know, honestly, you know, look, do I change the team around every game? Of course. You know, there has to be like if I had that team and I was playing that team all the time, but it's very rare now you get players for 2 games. It's very rare you get them in a 4-week training because they're loading and different aspects of it. So what it teaches you, you have to be adaptable. And it's allowed you then, if you do get 1 or 2 suspensions, that players have already played a number of games for you come into it. So it allows you, you know, allows you to be calm. I have to be honest. Would I like Ethan and JJ being involved for this game, of course, but I'm quite comfortable that it isn't the case, because there's been a lot of games where they haven't been available for me. So we adapt and have full confidence in the players we look to go with.